Hi friends, Hunter Fisher, Trapper Trader, Guide, Scout and Interpreter, and Country Cook Steve Hall back here aboard the beautiful Miss Sheila houseboat where we're cruising and cooking again today. I'm going to make a real neat recipe for you today, and it's a real old-fashioned recipe. It's just something that you can whip up every morning at the hunting camp, and it's something that everybody kind of takes pride in their own gravy. Now, I had Miss Sheila on here on another episode where we made chocolate biscuits and gravy. This is biscuits and sausage gravy, white gravy that you make in the morning to go with your eggs. There's a bunch of different ways to make it. Some guys start with oil, some guys start with Crisco or whatever. I use butter, and I'll show you what I do. First of all, I got some Tennessee Pride sausage, and you use whatever your favorite sausage is in here. The best to make this with is venison breakfast sausage that you've made yourself. So don't forget that. We browned this up pretty good to where it's left some oil or grease down in the bottom of our pan. And I'm going to dump this sausage out and just keep it to the side here. Let me see if I can do this and unplug just for a second. I cook a lot of this stuff, and this probably ain't the direction for the camera to see real good, but I cook a lot of this stuff on electric fry pan because a lot of guys use electric fry pan in their cabin. And the other reason is our stove is back there, so we can't cook out here. But anyway, let me plug this back in. Now I've got our little bit of grease running across the bottom of the pan there. I'm sure Tim get a shot of that. And it's just what we need. What we're going to do first is we're going to put in about a half a stick of butter in the bottom. And we want that juice and all that grease and oil and everything from our sausage. I'm going to soften up our butter, get that melted in here. That's pretty good. Now while that's melting, we're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of flour in here. About 2 tablespoons of flour. It doesn't take very much, trust me. I think just a little dab more there. We're going to get this working and happening. Now this is going to thicken up right away. This is important that you see this. But this flour and your butter and that grease from that sausage, it's going to start thickening up right away. And we want to cook this before we put our milk in for just a minute or so. And we don't really want to brown this. We just want to get it really dissolved so that the flour really gets married in there with the butter and the grease. This is looking good. So I think we need just a little more flour, just a little bit more. There we go. I think I had it measured out in my cup right to start with. There we go. Now she's thickening up. I want to cook this before we add our milk. We want to put this in here and get it just cooking up nice. Let Tim get a shot of that in there. This is really going to be good. Okay. Now I need my milk, and I'll bet you I know who's going to bring that.
Yeah, here's your milk.
All right. Thank you, babe.
You're welcome, dear.
I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to start adding our milk to this. Now this milk we're going to put in a little bit at a time, and as soon as we put it in, it's going to thicken right up. I mean, it's really going to thicken up quick. I got to show you this. See that? It almost instantly turned right into almost like a real thick pudding type texture. We'll cook that for just a second, add a little more milk. You're going to need a lot of milk to make gravy. We'll thicken that up again. Get that happening, stir it in. And I got to show you this, it's already thick again. You see that? It thickens up real quick. Once you get that butter and that flour cooked in there, you want to cook that flour for a minute or so it doesn't taste floury. It cooks the flour. We'll cook this up some. Let's cook this for a minute. And it's going to get thick again. You would be absolutely amazed on how this just continues to thicken until it reaches that perfect texture. Keep my heat up there pretty good. Looking good here. I got to show you because this is already thick again. It just keeps thickening all the time, and just keep adding milk, and adding milk. There's a real art to making breakfast sausage gravy. Put a little more milk in there. Cook it. Now, if you do get it a little too thin, you can go back and add a little bit more flour, but I really hate to do that because I like to cook that flour up front with the butter before I get my milk happening in there. All right, now this is kind of thick, and we're just going to keep stirring this. You want to stir it all the time. And I use it on medium-high heat, and actually kind of pushing high heat because I want to get it happening quick. I'm going to start adding some salt to this. We'll put in about a teaspoon of salt to start with. Because I like, not real salty gravy, but I like it fairly salty. And you got to realize that your sausage is fairly salty too. So don't go overboard on your salt. But I do go pretty good on my pepper because I like to see a good color on the pepper. I want to actually see it in my gravy. Now, if you use mild sausage, you can go heavier on the pepper. In this case, I use Tennessee Pride, and I use their hot sausage. I really like the hot. I'd say to start out with the mild the first few batches you make, because you want to make sure that the kids will eat it. And I'm going to get Sheila to go back in the microwave and get my biscuits for me. If you'd be so kind, sweetheart, I'd sure appreciate that. Because I think I just warmed them up. I made a big batch this morning, and I had some left over, so I popped them in the microwave. Thank you very much. Now this is starting to thicken up here again, getting real good. Just about right. I think we're just about right. We don't want it to get away on us. All right, now we want to put our sausage back in this mixture. I'm going to put all our sausage back in, and I cooked up a whole pound of sausage, 1 pound, and I put the grease and all in there. And I like my Uncle Bob said, fat's where it's at. He likes that flavor. He said, don't cut that fat off my steak. I'm going to eat that. Now we'll get this sausage happening. And this is where the cook kind of takes liberties and does a little taste testing as we go along here, because I want to make sure that this has got enough salt in it. Oh, this is thickening up just right. Getting nice. Getting really nice. Perfect. Let me give this a little taste here. Honey, would you give me a spoon out of the drawer? She is just handy as a pocket in a shirt, I'm telling you. If you need something, just ask her and she goes, thank you. Okay. All right, thank you so much. And I need, you know what else I need? I need a little dish to pour this in so I can serve it up. I got a plate, but I don't have a dish. I guess I could pour it back in here. Never mind. I just want to see if she'd go back there one more time. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, but I had to do it anyway. Here we go. This is looking just perfect. Let me give this a little taste. She's still glaring at me over there because I had her go back there on a false run. It doesn't need any more salt than that. That is perfect. In fact, I'd say only go about a half a teaspoon of salt, because it's on the close to the top of the salt spectrum there, but it's livable and looking delicious. Now, some people like their gravy real thick where it'll pile up on a spoon. Some like it so it's just nice and runny, but I kind of like it somewhere in the middle to where it's almost like a pudding, real thick pudding texture. And that's what I ended up with. Tim's going to kill me because I'm not turning it towards the camera here. But there we go. Pour that back in there. Now we're going to get our biscuits happening. Get these babies out of there. Oh, man. These biscuits are those wampin kind again. You pop them on the end of the counter. That's what I take to hunting camp. Now, you can throw flour all over the kitchen and make them big old cat head biscuits they make down in Alabama, but I just like the wampin kind. They're real flaky. They just fall apart. They're really easy to handle out there at hunting camp, and if you got time to go hunting, you don't have time to make biscuits. Ladle that on there. Check it out. Sausage gravy, homemade sausage gravy. You know, I never had sausage and biscuits and gravy until I moved down south. I always had eggs and toast. So when I seen sausage, biscuits, and gravy, and then it kind of worked its way north over the last few years. In fact, I started to see a lot more Cracker Barrel stores up north than I ever used to see, because everybody likes that biscuits and gravy. And there you have it. Good old sausage, biscuits, and gravy. And that's how I make it. Use butter. Of course, do your sausage first till you get all your crumblings and a little bit of grease. Put the sausage aside, leave the oil and the grease in there, half a stick of butter, 2 tablespoons of flour, get it all mixed in, cook it until it's done, and start pouring your milk, and you're going to have to keep adding the milk till it gets nice and thick, touch of salt, a little bit, quite a bit of pepper till you can see it, and there it is. It's absolutely fabulous. I got to try just a little bite of this morning. See if I can get some of that. Excuse me. That is fabulous. Try it in your next hunting camp. That's how I make homemade gravy and biscuits. Is it the best you'll ever eat? If it ain't, it ought to be. This is Steve Hall saying, we'll see you next time. That's good. Sorry, honey. I didn't really need that bowl, but thanks.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching Cooking with Shotgun Red. If you enjoy our recipes, become a subscriber to our cooking channel, and you'll be the first to know when a new recipe is posted. We'll see you next time, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button below.
This is Shotgun Red saying thanks a lot.